Yeah, exactly. All right, good morning, guys. Somebody to say good morning back.
Good morning.
Good morning. You know, I met a Hollywood movie star once. So get out your note sheet. Got some notes here today. And I got your question. I want you to write down some answers right away on your note sheet. Let me know if anybody needs paper. Okay. Would you like some paper? Are you okay? I understand. How about we just get you a sheet of paper, you can write down some ideas. I'm glad you're here. So last week we were talking about the urinary system. And what we were talking about yesterday was some diseases of the throat and mouth. And today we're going to talk about some diseases of the urinary system. Things that can go wrong. So what I want everybody to write down, so look up here, Tina. Look up here. I want you to write down 3, like the worst case scenario things that can happen with your urinary system. So does anything having to do with pee? If I've got to pee, where it's like, you know, what can go wrong if I'm sick? What can go if I have to pee real bad? What can happen? What can happen if I drink too much water? If I don't drink enough water? Just everybody write down 3 things. And Henry, once you get down 3 things, you can go to the bathroom, deal with your own worst case scenario. Henry, do you understand? Joseph, do you understand? Alfredo? Her. You got it? Johnny, you got it? Do you understand what's right now? No, I just asked everybody a question. I just asked everybody a question. So write down 3 things that are like the worst case scenario about your urinary system. So what can go wrong about having to pee or drinking water or not drinking enough water, or infections or diseases. Yeah, anything having to do with pee. So like what's the worst nightmare? What's something that can go wrong that's bad?
For you or in general?
For yourself, what do you worry about? I mean, in your whole life. So I mean, it's kind of anybody, but think about something that might happen to you. But you might think about something that happens to your grandma or something also, whatever. All right. So what do you got, Maria? Let's start back there. What's like your nightmare scenario regarding your urinary system? What could go wrong? What? Yeah, getting an infection, UTI infection. We can talk a little bit about what the
Holding your pee too long, no? Don't you get a...
to get a UTI if you hold in your pee too long?
Yeah, can you
Oh, interesting. I think that wouldn't. I mean, holding in your pee too long is problematic.
Yeah.
You know, and part of the. I mean, so infections have to get inside of you, right?
Yeah.
So infections get into you through an opening. So you've got that little opening through what we call your urethra, or your pee hole. And that's designed to sort of like, you know, lots of liquid flushing itself out all the time. And if that doesn't happen, you know, then there's a little more chance for bacteria, germs to get up inside there. So that's a good reason to kind of pee. So we pee several times a day normally.
Yeah.
So it's designed. Eat what? If your pee is too yellow? Yeah, so what does that mean if your pee is too, I think you mean dark yellow. Yeah. Now, why is that bad? So I've got too much of that and not enough water will make it look really
It's
dark.
a light yellow, that means like you're okay. I'm kind of
Yeah, good question. So if your urine is really clear, Tina, what do you think of that? If your urine is really clear, what does that tell you? It's bad. It's what? Yeah, it means you drink. It really, it's actually pretty okay. Versus having dark urine, light urine is usually a pretty positive thing. It means I've got plenty of water. My kidneys didn't have to work too hard, and it's easy to get rid of stuff that's not very concentrated. So that's probably not a bad situation, unless you haven't been drinking a lot of water.
I drink water every day. I can't. I drink probably more than a gallon, to be honest.
Oh my God, that's probably too much water.
I like water.
That's too much water. So there can be problems with drinking up in the neighborhood of a gallon. That's really a lot of water. The water that I've got. Joseph, how about you? What do you got? Sorry, I can't hear very well. I sort of thought I heard.
Mess up your kidneys.
Mess up your kidneys. So what could go wrong with kidneys?
And you get infection.
Yeah, if you get an infection in your kidneys, so they're not working. This is terrible, right? The kidney's job is to remove the poison from your blood. Tina.
Wait, is this what causes
It sounds like there's one noise coming from a phone. Take your blood out and put your phone away. So your kidney's job is to remove the poison from your blood. If they're not working right, poison is going to accumulate in your blood. What do you think that would feel like? How would you know if that was happening?
When you start putting blood, it wouldn't burn.
Do what?
When you start putting blood, it wouldn't burn.
You might start peeing blood, yeah, if it was infection, like the kidneys were broken, little holes, they've got this tiny little tubes. If the infections are eating holes in the tubes, you can get blood in your urine. What would your urine look like if your kidneys weren't working? What would your urine look like if your kidneys weren't working?
I don't want to know. I don't want to think of it.
Well, but it may be your kid, maybe you, maybe a friend of yours that's talking about, hey, check out this weird thing that's going on with my urine. I want to be able to help people out with that. Because if it's happening, it's strange enough that they're scared and they're sharing it with you. I'm not doing it to gross you out. They're doing it because they think they need some help. So what do you think urine might be like if your kidneys are failing?
Like dark yellow, kind of like blood.
Yeah, it can be really dark, it can be really concentrated, like it's not getting
Like
real.
cloudy almost?
Cloudy, really anything that's unusual, right? Even though we don't think about it too much, we see what our own pee looks like. We know this. How about no urine? I haven't peed in 2 days.
That's kind of wild.
What should I do if I haven't peed in 2 days?
Drink more water and go pee.
I should go see a doctor. Yeah, I mean, if I haven't drank any water in a week and I'm not peeing, that's what
That's
it is.
it.
But if I'm drinking normal water and I go, God, come to think of it, I have not peed, and I don't even feel like I have to pee.
Just eat an apple.
It means your kidneys aren't
Does
producing.
it drinking cause that problem too?
Like alcohol drinking? Yeah, bad nutrition is really the main thing. Alcohol on its own probably isn't going to damage your kidneys. Alcohol works under your liver. That keeps your liver really busy. So that's a different system. If you get an injury like that, your kidney will probably heal, as opposed to like, I'm sick and I have an infection in my kidneys.
Probably.
Probably. So we're going to talk to a doctor about this. It kind of depends on how bad the injury is, right? It's kind of like if I get cut, if I get a little tiny cut, it'll bleed for a little bit and it will heal. But if I get a really big cut, it'll bleed for a while unless I get, stitches and a doctor like that. So that would be the difference. But because I'm not a urologist, I don't know how pink is bad. Like it's got a little bit of pink or a lot of pink. That's the most pink I've ever seen in my urine. I don't know what to do. So I'll go see a doctor and he'll be able to judge me. Tina, how about you? The question we're all then answering, oh, please put your phone away. It looks like you're distracting yourself. So Tina, the question we're asking about is what's kind of a worst case scenario thing that can go wrong with your urinary system? I'm sorry, what? Mentioned a lot of things.
You can think of anything else in addition to that? Or one that somebody mentioned that you think is pretty legit? Do you think any of the things happening what would concern you the most if any of those things happen? What? Your health, yeah. Which one do you think would be the most alarming for your health? Just name one. It'll take too long for you to talk about all of them, so just name it. You can come up with a new one too. But so what does the urinary system do? What's the job of the urinary system? To pee. And why do we pee? What are we getting rid of? Things we don't need. Poisons in our blood. So if that's not working, what could go wrong? If the poison's not getting rid of, what could go wrong? Yeah, you get sick. This is another thing. You get sick. As I mentioned, you might notice, I haven't peed in 2 days. But if I haven't peed in 2 days, how much poison, Tina, how much poison is still in my blood? 2 days worth of poison, and that's actually a lot of poison. We're peeing 4 or 5 times a day. How am I going to feel if I've got 2 days of poison in my blood? Yeah, and in a weird way. It won't be like a fever. It'll be like, wow, I feel weak and achy, and I don't have a temperature. I just, because literally we've got poison going inside. So the best ways to avoid getting the urinary infection, urinate just regular schedule. There's also one other time you really, doctors will recommend you pee. After sex. During sex, you got all kinds of mashing and gushy stuff all flying around there, and there's all kinds of opportunity for bacteria to be there.
What?
Yeah, and for the penis and the vagina, there's lots of opportunity for bacteria to kind of get pushed up into that hole a little bit. So when you pee, there's all of that stuff.
I don't know if it's like.
That's to prevent UTIs, yeah.
I don't know if it's like related to it, but like my old science teacher told me like if you have intercourse with a girl and you pee on her like when she gets an infection, and you guys both.
So try not to do that. So I would. It's an interesting question. So the things that occur to me, your urine doesn't have bacteria in it to start with, right? So urine is actually a sterile thing to begin with because it came from our blood, right? We filtered it out of our blood. It's got a bunch of kind of ammonia and vinegar, and it's got a bunch of poisony, acidy kind of stuff. It's not terrible. It won't burn a hole in the table.
No, you just said something.
Because it's possible to rupture your bladder.
Yeah, I heard about that.
You've heard of this? Yeah. What did you hear?
Well, my mom was telling me to hold my pee and stuff, and she's a nurse, so she knows all about it.
Oh gosh, yeah.
She explained to me and told me all this scary shit. Cause I have a really bad habit of holding my pee. I hold my pee.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah.
Like I'm always like, I'm too
You can
lazy
get
to
used to
walk
holding
around.
all the time. Right.
Isn't it good to stop the stream? Like once you're peeing, just stop it and then pee and start.
I can't think of a good reason to stop it.
Someone told me that when I was small.
I can't think of anything bad. Here's the only thing that occurs to me. So it would be a muscle exercise. That would be the only thing I would think of. You'd actually exercise called the ankle muscle. And you'd be exercising that muscle by doing it. But the normal way to pee is to just pee. And I don't think it's usually not a good idea to fight urges. Kind of let your body do its thing in its natural way.
Usually,
Yeah.
Usually when I hear teachers talk like you just talk, I get so bored. You're actually the first teacher that you're talking and I'm interested.
Well, thank you.
I really like how you teach. I like you a lot.
Well, thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you so
Come
much.
on, it's morning, huh?
My interesting pee story.
Yeah, you're a really good teacher. I like it.
Okay, good. So but take care of your body. For example, I would never recommend it if you were growing up. It
well, I wouldn't say, hey,
Well,
that was
that's
really good.
different.
Just try to stop yourself in the
There's
middle
no
and
way,
then
there's
throw
no
up
way
again.
I could stop throwing up. If I was throwing up, no.
There's no way, right? It's on. It's gonna happen until it's done.
But
I'm not
on
going-
key, I
Yeah.
can stop that.
It's a little easier to pee, to stop the peeing, I agree. Hey, Fidel.
Yeah.
Hey, Fidel, welcome. Do you need a sheet of paper? I got a sheet of paper for you.
Is that a time when you're drinking?
Huh? What?
Is that a time when you're drinking?
When you're drinking alcohol?
Yeah. Because I
Oh.
know a lot of people when they're drinking alcohol, they use that.
So that's good. So when you're drinking alcohol, alcohol is what we call a diuretic. This is a good word to write down, diuretic. Diuretic means that chemical is going to kind of numb my kidneys a little bit, so my kidneys won't work as well. Now, one of the things that kidneys want to do is they want to get rid of, remember, just the right amount of salt and just the right amount of water. Just the right amount. I don't want to just dump all of my water. If I've numbed my kidneys, I'll dump all my water. So you pee a whole lot if you've been drinking a lot, too much. And in fact, the next morning, you're going to be a little bit dehydrated, and who said dehydration gives you a headache?
Me, Cynthia.
That's Cynthia, yeah, Cynthia, a headache. That's your hangover.
I never got hangover.
I have never got a hangover, I don't drink.
That's a lie.
I know, right?
Come on.
People are always surprised by that.
I heard you say you get like on a Sunday or something, what is it, you or something?
With a cold beer?
Yeah, like a cold
Well,
ice or
that's
something.
Mr. Foley.
That's somebody else, yeah, I went to, somehow I never got invited to those kinds of parties when I was a kid. So no one ever offered me a drink. And then when I got into college, I was always, I always had fun at parties. So nobody was like, hey dude, you need to loosen up and join the party. Because I was always kind of in the middle of the party, you know, having fun. Also, I was 6'6", so no one could ever say, hey, punky kid, we're gonna peer pressure you into drinking. And then really quickly, my friends realized I was like the best designated driver to have because I didn't care if I didn't have anything to drink. So actually, if somebody came up to me and said, hey dude, you should have, you know, this spiked punch, and then my roommates would say, no, don't do that. Don't bring that, John. It's spiked. We want you to be our designated. So I got reverse peer pressure.
I would have loved for you to be my friend back in the day.
There we go. We could be
My
friends
designated
now.
driver.
Yeah, so it worked pretty well. So I got lucky. So somewhere in my house, I have this huge pile of money that I've never spent on alcohol. Here's another sign of kidneys failing. If we're not getting, and kidneys failing is not necessarily all at once. Your kidneys can just kind of get worse and worse and worse and getting rid of the poison. So if that poison starts to accumulate, we get a disease called gout. Has anybody ever heard of gout? You hear about this, gout. What happened with gout? Somebody had gout? Oh, your mom has kidney failure.
Yeah.
And does she talk about gout a little bit?
Yeah, she used to tell me in middle school about it. She told me that that's why she gets sick easily.
Yeah. It's tough. So when your kidneys aren't working, this poison is kind of in there, and it just takes you down a notch, right? I mean, the normal person wake up, I feel refreshed and healthy, and I've got energy. And someone who's got kidney failure, I just got the, I'm just a little tired, and things aren't going to work. So gout is when this excess uric acid in your bloodstream accumulates, and it actually winds up accumulating in your joints. And you get things that kind of look like this. You get a little swelling in your joints. And what do you think it feels like to bend those fingers? Feels good, bad, unimaginably bad? Yeah, really painful. Now you have all kinds of crunchy, sharp crystals, like a bunch of ground glass, you know, inside of all of my joints. This is terrible. Yeah, all right, we'll stop here on gout, thanks.
So we turn this in?
Hang on, we'll just use this for the quiz tomorrow.
The quiz is tomorrow.
I'm sorry, so these are the quiz on Friday. Tomorrow we're going to have review and makeup. So tonight, here's an assignment, everybody. Look on your Infinite Canvas tonight and see if any assignments you're missing. Then tomorrow I can give you those assignments and you can work on them and bring them back on Friday. We can talk about making stuff for everybody. All you guys that are here, I want to give you a good shot to get on the scoreboard.